For your a la carte service of cassoulet, we're going to begin with our bacon. Yes? Crispy bacon. We're going to add our beans, and these beans have been cooked in the duck stock. Yes? With the vegetables. Everything's been cooked in the duck stock from the very beginning. You follow me? So we're going to have this nice and hot. Fire a cassoulet. You drop the noodles. Once this starts to heat up, I'm going to add some of the sauce, and then I'm going to add my sausage, I'm going to add my lamb, and I'm going to add my duck, and I'm going to add my duck leg. Follow me? And I'm going to add more sauce. And it's literally, you're going to make this into a stew. So if you could pass me a lid. Now you need small pans like this, young man. 30 more seconds, please. 30 more seconds. You're going to need a small pans like this, and you're also going to need lids. You follow me? Yes? You're going to let that really come to the boil. You ready? Noodle out. Drain it well. I'm going to bring this to a vicious boil, yeah? Now, we're assimilating this stew. Yes? Cassoulet having been made in the crock, the cassoulet. Remember, we were examined on that yesterday. So we're going to get this up to the boil. Now, for a la carte, we're going to have a pan with sausage, lamb, and duck on the back of the stove, already warming in the duck stock. You follow me? So this is the final sauce. This is not the duck stock that you would find your product heating up in. Do you follow me? So for a la carte, you can do it quicker. Because I'm right now heating that stuff up from blind, yes? So once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to stir it around. I'm going to hit it with a tiny bit of parsley. Look how important parsley was in the cooking of food that many years ago. My noodles are ready. Add a tiny bit more stock. I'm going to let it come to the boil. Yes? You follow me? All right. So for our third dish of our decade series, we are doing cassoulet. Cassoulet comes from the word that describes the pot that it was cooked in, a cassoulet. Yes? It's made generally with rustic food. It's a peasant dish. And if you put nicer meats into it, it becomes a dish that is very important for gentry. But it was basically a peasant food. Normally some kind of poultry, chicken, goose, duck, beans, yeah, the starch of that area, yes, came from France. It came from the southern France. It was a very common dish. Now, it's important to realize that in 1935, we lost one of our greatest chefs on earth, Augustin Escoffier. He died in February 1935. He published a book in 34 called Ma Cuisine, yes, which was very, very popular with the normal person. Every other book that he had ever written was about classical cuisine. He was born in the early 1800s. Yes, and he lived till he was 99 years old. And this was one of the dishes that he was extremely proud of because it was a provincial basic dish. Do you follow me? Very, very incredible. So the chef that was of influence then was Escoffier, and all of his protégés were working with him. So they were taking all of these dishes, and this dish was prolific in restaurants of that era. That's why we're celebrating cassoulet in the 1934. Everybody understand me? So here we go. For service, we're going to take, obviously we're doing it a way different from the way it would be done in provincial France, yes? Because we're doing it a la carte. So we're going to serve it with some buttered noodles. We're going to place the noodles in the bowl, twist them up a little bit. This is how it's going to be served today with the noodle. And then we're going to take our cassoulet, which we have right here in the pot, and we're going to take our meat product, which is our lamb and our sausage. Now, it doesn't matter how it lands right now. We're going to make it land better as we work it. Here's our beans. Follow me. Here's all of your beautiful vegetables and all of your lovely, lovely stock and juice with this wonderful, wonderful gravy. Follow me? So here we go. Megan, are you ready? Let's turn it round, and I'm going to grab a hold of this, and we're going to make it a little prettier. We're going to stand that one up. We're going to make sure the sausage is sitting. We're going to put our nice boot on it. You follow me? And then we're going to take our beautiful See the way it lacks color? So we're going to take our really nice vegetables that were cooked separately, and just like confetti, we're just going to drop them over the whole dish. Follow me? These are rutabagas, these are peas, fresh peas, and some carrot. Finally, we're going to serve our crouton. The crouton's going to go right in here. And then to top it, we decided to make it a little Michigan. So we're going to get some beautiful cherries, and they've been poached in red wine with red onion, and we're just going to not be worried about how generous we're going to be with them, yes? Because this is all very savory, and we're just going to give it a little tiny bit of wonderful sweetness. And here we have our cassoulet. Everybody understand? I don't like that. Let's cross them. Everybody good? Excellent. So let's serve at least 14 today. Everybody ready? Everybody excited about this? Yes. All right, let's go. Thank you. 86 all of this stuff right now, guys. I'm done with it. Thank you, Noah. Thank you.